Hello!
Oh wait, no, the mic wasn't on. Say that again.
Hello!
Hi, welcome to the DOVECOTE, episode 38 of the DOVECOTE. It is 7:05 p.m. on this is July 12th, 2024, and you're watching the DOVECOTE, episode 38 with Vel Mini. Vel,
Hello, 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 hello,
please
hello, hello.
say from Fellowship and Panic at the Dojo, and Panic at the Dojo. What's the subtitle? The one that you're the remastered rework.
The remaster is patched up, and I'm also working on the expansion Second Strike.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Famous and infamous, I would even say. I don't know what's
I'm
infamous.
infamous?
I don't know what's infamous about you. I feel like uh I've only ever heard nice things. But
There
yeah.
was, there was, back in the day, this one other right-wing Gamergator type who tried to make a campaign about me, like a hate campaign, but they were really, really inept.
That'll happen. Fellowship
Uh-huh.
enjoyer. A fellow fellowship and yeah. Exactly. Now I'm gonna be honest. I meant because I know there was a big video. This is actually a good place to start. So there was a big video about Panic at the Dojo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then like I saw you kind of pivot towards like, oh shit, I made this game and I really like it and I want to go back and change some things about it. Um, and I'm kind of curious about like what was that experience like for you? Um, and yeah, like what was the experience of like having just one day waking up or seeing online like people are talking about a game that I made a couple years ago?
Yeah, Panic at the Dojo has always been my second most popular game, which is not saying a lot. Fellowship was far and away the most popular. Um, it was a little surreal because the book came out about 6 years ago with very little fanfare. Some people who played it really liked it, uh, but it generally it didn't get very far. And then one day, Sugar Punch puts out this video that is the most excellent review and summary I could have ever asked for, with like production value and this beautiful little like one turn example of play, and just extolling the virtues of the system for like 15 minutes.
Hell yeah.
And then 2 days later, I had $10,000.
Jesus. Um,
A life changing amount of money.
Now I'm gonna post this video in the chat, but if you watch it
It's
now,
a.
I'm gonna get rid of you. So be careful. Uh, I've been upping my threats recently. I
Okay.
It started with me saying new characters are coming to get you, and I've just been like in a I've been it's dangerous. I need to stop inventing new threats to,
I don't know. If you're gonna wear a cloak of eyes, you should be a little dangerous, I think.
That's true. Um but yeah, if you watch that video now, we're gonna find new uses for your body parts. Um um Anyways, uh that's really great. Um I guess I have to be honest, I have not read or played or really looked much at Panic at the Dojo. But if you want to tell, I would love if you could tell me and folks here about the game a bit and kind of some of the stuff that you're changing about it.
Okay. Panic at the Dojo is a tactical combat based game where everyone is kung fu fighting. And I mean everyone is kung fu fighting. There wasn't anyone skipping out this time.
Good.
Um, some of the key things about the system that make it different from everything else around it is that it is stance based. Your character enters different combat stances. And then while you're in that stance, you have different abilities. So you can basically swap your character between three different modes every turn. Your stance determines your action dice. So you roll your dice at the start of your turn, and then you perform your turn by just spending those dice to do things. Like, if you want to move, I'm going to say, I'm going to spend this 3, I'll trade it in for 3 speed tokens, and then I can spend those tokens to move 1 space per token. And then, like, I'm going to spend this 5 to deal a 3 damage attack to this enemy using the damage basic action, or using the unique action from my form that does this and that.
Fun.
It is very tactical, and it has gained quite a following since that video went out. We have a Discord. There's like people posting every single day about the game and like organizing quick fights and stuff. It's crazy in there.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
I never thought I would have a community like this. It's insane.
Yeah. I really like respect and appreciate the approach there of like I feel like there so in tabletop role playing games, right? There's a lot of like trying to simulate or mimic existing genres or games, and I really like the approach that like I'm seeing here, where it's very focused on like not necessarily close simulation, but like close simulation with mechanics that are like, you know, comprehensible.
Yes.
It's very neat.
Mechanics, the pace of the game is actually very similar to a fighting game, even though it's turn-based. Because when you think about it, fighting games are really turn-based anyway. Like,
True.
you do your combo until you drop it, or they block it, or they read your mix-up and counter you. And then it's their turn to hit you a bunch until you do the same back to them.
Yeah, I mean, Yomi Hustle was like the, you know, obviously the like furthest extension of that idea in terms of video games, but
yes, Yomi Hustle is a crazy game.
They should bring Panic at the Dojo to Evo next year. You're so right, Wimes. That's so true. That'd be
Honestly,
awesome.
that would rule.
Yeah. But yeah, that game sounds fantastic. I wish that I had thought to read it before this, but it seems wonderful. Folks should go buy that.
Yeah, you should go buy it. It's good.
I don't think I have the audience size to give you another $10,000, but people should give. I'll be kind to myself and say like another $120.
I'll be very happy if I get $5.
Give Vel $5 today.
Give me $5.
Yeah,
really, that's so true.
Yeah, it's good to go to Evo and lose, I think. So I should probably ask in terms of fighting games, what are kind of your inspirations? Like what fighting games do you really like or really enjoy playing?
I really enjoy Guilty Gear Strive. I'm a Bridget player.
Hell yeah.
Or Ram Lethal. I like Ram Lethal also.
Sick.
Why would you want to make a fighting game player in Panic at the Dojo, Lily?
Go fully low tier god. I'm not a like competitive fighting game player. Like I play it for the story modes. Like if there's a good story mode in a fighting game, I'll go for it.
Well, okay. Well, here's the fun little secret. No fighting game has a good story mode. That's
True.
a trick.
You're right.
What they can have is a fun arcade mode where the characters are very silly.
True.
I do like Skullgirls a lot. Skullgirls was the game that got me into fighting games, and I have been enjoying Street Fighter 6 lately, although I haven't played in like a month and a half.
I started FF6, and then well, I almost got to the end of the story mode in that, and then I was just like, kind of turned off by the games as service stuff.
Sure, I understand.
Yeah,
it's really obnoxious.
I'm kind of just waiting for like. I feel like I'm going to really enjoy SF6 when like it hits its end of service, and it's like just a normal ass game.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So, want to know the big funny secret about Panic at the Dojo 2?
Please.
It was not designed to be based on a fight, like be like a fighting game.
Oh yeah.
I started from the mechanics first. That's just what it ended up being because that's what it felt like when playing it. The flavor came later.
That'll happen. Sometimes you play toys and then you figure it out.
Like I started from the action dice system, and the most interesting way it came out ended up being like combat stances, and then that eventually became kung fu stances, and then here we are.
Yeah, I really relate to that. I I had this thing a couple of years ago where it was like I really want to make a game that has honestly, I feel like a lot of my things could be traced back to like I have some mechanical curiosity.
Hmm.
Like I think it depends though. Like a lot of my stuff is thematic first, and then I get the mechanic. But uh, like my game Autopsy Feast, which I'm working on, which is like it has a body grid system where you like put together parts and like connect them to each other and like make your character's
Okay.
body that way. Um, that just came from me like
So
trying to figure out.
Frankensteining game.
Yeah, exactly. Um, that kind of just came from me trying to figure out like how a system like that would work, and then eventually I was like, oh, okay, this is about being in space. This is about like making spaceships and making guys and making yourself a freak,
Hmm.
uh, and killing Imperials with your arm mounted bone launcher. Um, sometimes it's like that. Made a game.
I have had an idea kicking around for years about like a board game where the mechanic of it is like everyone's playing like necromancers or golemancers or something, and you
Ooh.
have to build the best Frankenstein out of spare parts to win a contest at the end of the game.
Oh, that fucks. That's really good.
I have yet to make it like function, but I've had many iterations and ideas for it that have just all gone nowhere. But it's something I would love to make someday.
That
Like you just build your undead champion.
It sounds very cool. I hope someday you make that. I would love to play that.
I do too.
Oh, I need I need some of my bird. Uh,
Bird,
I got one bird. I got to summon.
bird the word. Ah, bird.
Bird is here. Um, now I've been I think I'm kind of footing around this, which is oh, hang on, wait, fuck, I fucked it up. Let's talk about Fellowship.
Oh, you're changing size. You're everywhere.
I'm changing size. I'm shifting. I'm shifting into a new dimension. Um, but yeah, I really like Fellowship. I think you did a really great job with Fellowship 1E. And I'm really
Thank you.
excited about the stuff you're doing with 2. Um, I'm trying to think about what I even want to ask about about Fellowship. Uh,
Well, the book that is out right now is already 2E. The one that has four
right,
hardcover
sorry,
books, that's
3.
2E. Yeah.
Yes. 3 is the one you've
1E
been doing.
was one hardcover book and then a bunch of little thin books that were just one playbook each. Um, that all got reworked into like the third book in the re-release.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. See, I kind
Anyway,
of got on around 2E, so I never really knew about the 1E stuff.
yeah, no, it's fine. It's not important. 2E is a strict improvement in every way. Whereas 3 is its own different beast that is doing some things differently, and I can't guarantee they'll all be better, but they will be interesting.
Yeah, it seems really interesting. Something that I wanted to ask about Fellowship,
Hmm.
and I think this applies to both 2E and 3, from what I've seen of 3, is
Uh-huh.
something I really admire about Fellowship is I think that post-apocalypse world, a lot of PBTAs have kind of not to point at one game for this, but to point at one game for this. A lot of a lot of a lot of PPTAs come from people reading Monster of the Week and assuming that's all they need to know about like the design philosophy of PBTA.
Or Dungeon World.
Or Dungeon World, yeah. Um, and something that I really love about Fellowship is that the moves are so diverse and they do such different things and have such different, you know,
I built
thresholds and
Fellowship
stuff.
from a ground up sort of thing. Like they're on the Something Awful forums back in ye day. Um, there was a lot of talk about the powered by the apocalypse theory and what makes a good PBTA and what doesn't, and I took some of that to heart. Like I built Fellowship sort of from first principles. It started as another Dungeon World expansion, like Inverse World, my first book,
Right.
but I was just so restricted, and they kept running into walls. Like, Dungeon World is so clunky in so many ways.
Yeah.
I just threw it all out and started over from the start.
I think what you landed on is really wonderful.
Uh-huh.
Like, not only do I very often, like, find myself being like, hey, I think you would enjoy Fellowship, when people are like, I need a fantasy game that's not D&D. I'm also often like, when I'm talking to people, me and my friend Grief were designing a game, or designing a game called It Can Only Be Done, and we were talking about like, so how are
I think
enemies
I
gonna
saw
work?
that. I think a friend of mine retweeted that.
Hell yeah. Uh, I was talking to Grief and I was like, hey, how are enemies gonna work in this? And Grief started describing something, and I was like, that's how enemies work in Fellowship, and I do think we should steal that. It's like,
Everyone should steal how enemies work in Fellowship because it's the best way to do enemies in anything, and I will die on this hill.
it's great. For those who don't know, it's sort of, you have uh, enemies have stats, or threats have stats,
Mhm.
and those stats have their own like little rules, and then once those stats are damaged, one, that threat takes damage, like it is hurt or it is buffeted, and two, whatever is written on that rule, uh, whatever's written on that stat is no longer true, and it's such an elegant way of doing it. Um,
hmm So, and it's so interesting too, because you can go fucking insane with it. I like enemies generally have like 2 to 4 stats, and they'll generally be logical things, like this enemy's attacks, like wizards have no sense of right and wrong. Their attacks are dangerous. They will always hit an extra target, and they don't get to choose who. But then you can also have ones that are downsides. Like you can have Gentle Giant. This giant is doing its best not to hurt anybody and can never cause harm. Oh, but if you angered it and damaged that stat, now it can hurt you.
it's really
And it
good.
will hurt you because it's a giant and it's big and strong.
Are there stream issues? I'm not seeing anything on my end. It's either on Twitch or your end, unfortunately. I'm seeing 0 drop frames and clean kilobytes per second.
Yeah, it looks clean over on my end, but I also don't have the audio on for the stream for obvious reasons.
Mysterious. I would just parry the giant. Sounds awesome. You should do that. You should play Fellowship.
You should play.
I like Fellowship. I like Fellowship so much that I have I have a hardcover physical copies full of Fellowship. Uh, Listen, sometimes you get really autistic about a game.
Understandable.
Oh yeah, I might be running some for Lilith and Sexton Crowley soon, which would be
Oh hell yeah!
awesome. And I may also use the really gnarly sex moves that I wrote for it. I'm very excited to have that stuff out. But yeah, well, cool. I'd love to talk about let's talk about some games. Let's talk about games. What are you reading? What are you playing? Are you looking or thinking about anything games wise right now?
My soul is currently consumed by the spirit of Panic at the Dojo. I have not looked at anything, any other game, or thought about other games beyond briefly thinking about Fellowship for like 2 months.
That's fair. Extremely valid.
I have been working on Patched Up pretty much since that Sugar Punch video dropped.
Are there any games that are coming out up or out that you're excited about? Anything that
I haven't been paying attention to the TTRPG news cycle.
completely fair. I really we were talking about this a bit before the show. I really respect that, like being very deep in your work.
I paid a lot of attention when I was more consuming the hobby. Now that I'm making the games, I don't have time for that shit. What little time I have goes into, I don't know, wasting time on Hearthstone, a game I don't have to think about.
Yeah, how's Hearthstone?
Spoilers, Hearthstone is the easiest card game, and that's the only reason I play it. Yu-Gi-Oh is too hard.
Is it easy? So But when you say a card game is easy, like, does that mean that the other people who are playing it don't understand what they're doing? Like,
No,
is
no,
it
no. Everyone understands what they're doing. It's just very. It is mechanically simple.
right? Okay.
Most lines of text something has is like 10 words. Nothing has massive descriptions. There's lots of keywords.
Oh, it means you can fuck the cards. Thank you, Zach.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Hearthstone is so cool. Someone should make an RPG about that world. Like a massively multiplayer one too, I think. That'd be awesome.
I think that would probably be popular.
Um I played Marvel Snap for a while, and that was really brain dead. That was just like I played a movement deck in
Yeah, I
that.
haven't played Snap, but it seems like it's even faster.
Yeah, it's
Um,
really quick.
the big thing holding me back from it is I don't play games on my phone anymore.
Yeah, smart. I don't either. It's kind of, I mean, not smart, but
The
I also
phone
don't.
is for watching VTubers on
Hmm.
YouTube and doom scrolling on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't even really watch streams on my phone. I could, I
I don't
should.
watch streams, I watch clips.
Oh yeah,
I'm a clip viewer. I full streams are for something to put on the side while I fall asleep.
fair. And solitaire? You're playing solitaire on your phone, Lilith?
I played Sudoku on my phone for years.
That's
I would
awesome.
solve like 10 Sudokus an hour. It
Hell
was my
yeah.
preferred means of killing time.
Who has time to watch a whole stream? So true. Uh, no, just kidding. um, but
Thanks to all the viewers.
yeah, thank you all for being here and watching. Trying to think of any other stuff I want to ask you about. Um, hmm. Hey, Marcy.
Okay, well, if I'm
Thou
not going to
hast
talk about
journeyed
tabletop
far.
games real quick, I can talk about a game that I am super excited about.
Please do.
Have you heard of Toho Lost Branch of Legend?
I've heard of Toho. I don't know anything about Lost Branch of Legend.
Toho Lost Branch of Legend is oh hi, how Mouse Wife, thanks for the raid.
Good job at the HUD ad. We come raiding from the Borderlands. Oh yeah, y'all were talking about the Borderlands movie. Shit,
Uh-huh.
that's awesome.
Are you familiar with Slay the Spire?
Yes, I am. I haven't played it, but
What
I
if
know about
Slay
it.
the Spire had Magic the Gathering mana, where there's 5 different colors and cards can have colors
Oh,
and
that's fun.
affinities?
And it was
That
Toho.
is Toho Lost Branch of Legend. It's on Steam in early access. I have been enjoying it for over a year. It's incredibly good. Lily is familiar. I have maybe yapped her ear off about this in the past.
That's awesome.
It's a good game and would recommend people pick it up and look at it. Not that I know when it'll be out of early access, but I love everything that game is doing. It is like the best Slay the Spire variation.
I'm looking it up. What is it called? Toho?
Toho Lost Branch of Legend.
Oh, here it
It is on
is.
Steam.
This looks fun. I like that they have the the bullet hell visuals. That's cool.
Yes, yes. Every single card and every single enemy attack has a unique bullet pattern.
She level Lost Branch. Okay, I lurk. Take care, Lily. But it seems cool.
You know, it's
I know a
little
lot of
off
Toho
topic,
heads.
but I fucking love Toho.
Marcy, aren't you a Toho head? I know Marcy just raided in, so I figure I'll ask. Or isn't Cypress into Toho? Sorry, getting
I'm
into
sure
just
a lot of people are. It's very popular among nerds
people.
and girls.
Nerds and girls love Toho is the thing. Toho, teehee.
Toho is the series for lesbians, and that means it was for me even when I didn't know I was a lesbian yet.
Hell yeah. We love. I'm a big Yuko fan. Awesome.
Yeah.
What if Slay the Spire but women? Slay the Spire but the Slay is italicized.
Zune drank a gigantic mug of beer one day and thought, what if a fantasy world only had women?
And and he was right.
Yeah. There is one male character in all of Toho.
Yeah.
Well, technically two, but one of them is a turtle of ambiguous gender. But they go by he, him, so close enough.
See, my only experience with Toho, unfortunately, is that my wife baited me really hard into playing a Toho Homestuck hack. So, and it was really bad, by the way. It was a really bad, like, it was an RPG Maker game that was, what if the Toho characters had slightly different names and they were Homestuck characters? And also we introduced the trolls at the same time as the humans.
It's called Desire Driven. I've played it all.
Yes, Desire Driven. Yes, that's what it's called.
My something awful avatar is a character from that.
That's
my Twitter avatar was Kyoko Kasodani from Desire Driven for all of 10 years.
I feel like my head's
the creator
gonna
of Desire Driven came out as a transphobe and
right, I forgot.
Life.
That's why we stopped playing it. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's such a shame because it is fun. It is. I like Desire Driven. Cannot go back to it. Cannot appreciate it any longer.
I'm figuring out what my emotions are. I forget what my emotions are.
It's especially funny because one of their main characters in Desire Driven that they had is the canonically trans woman in Toho.
God.
Toyosato Mimi no Miko was a prince 1,000 years ago. When she gets revived by a magical wish-granting artifact, she's a woman.
You don't see it, but I have my hands on my head right now, and I'm just like pushing them together into my skull. Fuck. Like there are multiple elements to this. One, the additional details, and two, that you're a big Desire Driven head or were at one point.
I was at one point, would be the better way to put it.
Yes.
Not that there's really a Desire Driven to be ahead about anyway, because it hasn't updated in forever, but it's not going to ever be finished.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't my wife. It was Duck who bullied me. Duck. Well, I think Duck gave me an amount of money to play it, so I think that's fair. You know, I did what I had to do. Toho fandom is awesome because it's only trans people and transphobes or both. Thank you, JD. Okay, I think we can enter the news now. Portis coming in from a beautiful shrine in Kyoko. Considering we're talking about Toho. Let's talk about games news. Actually, I am just gonna keep this on this. I don't think it makes sense to do it the other way. Cool. Why is this like this? Oh, I know why.
Why is anything like anything else?
Yeah, true.
Why are we here?
So our first, just to suffer. So this is a little delayed because, like, this is some older news because there's been a week. I wasn't able to do it last week because of guest issues, like kind of last minute stuff. So, first we're going to talk about kind of a minor thing. Roll20 Discord integration, which is interesting. So,
I'll be honest, like, you sent me these articles that we're going to talk about in advance, and I did read through this, and my tiny peanut brain could not comprehend what's so special about anything in this announcement.
It's interesting.
I can already just play Roll20 and have a call on Discord.
Yeah. And can I do this to our call? Hang on. I'm doing something.
Hold up. Join it.
Oh shit. This was probably a bad idea, I'm noticing. Uh-oh. I may have made a slight mistake. What happened? Hi.
Discord, and I don't want to deal with that.
It didn't like it. I'm leaving activity. That was a bad idea.
Yeah.
It also messed up Fugi. I need to get Fugi back.
Yeah, I got obliterated by a mountain.
So it doesn't work very well, is my first bit of feedback on that.
First bit of feedback, it sucks.
First, yeah.
Second, I can already just have a Discord call and have Roll20 open in a browser like I normally do.
Why is Foogie? Come on.
Want me to leave the call and come back? Will that fix it?
Yeah,
Maybe
that might fix it. Give that a shot.
that does not seem to have fixed it.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. This happens sometimes. I just gotta make new ones.
Okay.
Oh wait, hang on. The shadow, shadow creature. There we go. Okay, we're good now.
A ghost.
Oh, it's supposed to be pronounced Fuji. Eh.
But they didn't spell it with a J.
Yeah, no, that's some GIF shit. I'm not having that.
If you spell it with a G, it's Fugi, like the pufferfish.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. So, basically, what is this? This is you can simply open up Discord and be like, I want to play D&D or Pathfinder, Cyberpunk Red, or Call of Cthulhu, or Alien, or fucking Marvel Multiverse RPG, or fucking Dune, I guess, and have it open. I imagine it's not that simple.
Panic in the Dojo, so what's the point?
True, very true. I also imagine it's not that simple because like you need to set up assets.
Yeah.
I assume that they have some stuff preset in there, but like if you're playing a campaign that's at all interesting, you probably want something that's gonna be a bit more good and normal.
Yeah. I would hope so anyway. Also, I think my avatar's like stuck.
I noticed that. We're gonna try just swapping you from individual to group. See if that works.
Okay.
Oh
well. I mean, my witch is cute even if she's frozen.
This is true. It looks fine on the main one.
Yeah, it jiggled for a second. It jiggled when you put it back in, but now it's stuck again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I will try and fix that while we talk about this.
Sounds good.
So yeah, I find like this kind of bend towards like accessible play. Well, okay. Like I think accessibility is important, right? Before I go into this tirade, because I like I want to make that clear first. But I think that there is an element of this where I'm like, this is like this is accessible at the expense of like being a useful tool for people to learn and play games. I think, and I kind of reject it on some level.
This is useful at the expense of any usefulness.
Yeah, like it's very convenient, but if you're already on like Discord, if you're already on the Discord app, like why wouldn't you just like you're on a computer probably. Just open Roll20. Just open Roll20 and get specifically what you want from it instead of like I can only play D&D and like 6 other games chosen for me by the council.
The Council of 20 have decided you will play Marvel role-playing.
Exactly. Yeah, Fugi's just busted. What are we doing, Fugi? I'm gonna try doing an override.
Okay.
And then if that doesn't work, it's just
Discord
open.
activities is also something I didn't know existed before I read this article, and it doesn't. I am so far incredibly unimpressed.
Yeah, I don't like Discord activities. There's really no reason to have them. They're kind of just like it's shareholder slop. Like that's basically what it is.
It is exactly that. 100%.
It's like when OMM was talking about doing their fucking what do you call it? Like the Tamagotchi thing, which they never did because they weren't making enough money. It's like all the features that are being advertised for what is that called? Not Moonshine, Moonbeam. It's just thing needs more features, or else it will die because investors need to be able to see that there are more features in the thing.
Yes, Jewish Cthulhu, Roll20 does have voice and video chat that turns on automatically the first time you join, and you have to shut it off every time.
You gotta be so careful not to show anyone your boobs on Roll20. It's not for that.
It is so obnoxious about it too. Like, this Discord integration is a feature for nobody.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly... Nope, that didn't fix it. Okay. It's fine. We'll just deal with it. Thank you, Fugi. Beg to differ about the boob thing. Listen, unless you want to show your boobs on Roll20, but I feel like there are better places to do that.
There are better avenues for showing your boobs to other trans girls, okay?
Yeah, you don't need to do it on Roll20.
You don't need to do it where Roll20's 20 masters can watch.
Now I'm just thinking about the Sapphic World game that happens in Roll20, and I'm like, why would he use that? Why would... I generally I don't get using Roll20 for anything that doesn't have a mat, because they just like...
I literally just use it for a map.
Yeah.
It's a map accessory.
That makes sense. That's actually a good use for it.
Yeah.
I really like the 20
it's the one thing it does that is difficult to do otherwise. It's a shared map that everyone can see and move things on.
Yeah.
And that's all you need.
Also use Google Draw for that. If you can't
could, I guess.
It's not a very good tool for it, but it's an option. But yeah, I think like there's definitely a need and a place for like these sort of like shared connected web connected tools. And like it's good that there are a couple of them that fill a couple different niches, but also this is why why this, why now, who needs this, who's using this?
I could not tell you.
And yeah, we salute the brave troops at Roll20, and I hope everything turns out all right for everybody. Anyways, we'll go into the next one, because yeah, this was kind of just a quick one. So we're gonna talk about the 2024 NE Awards. Now, I'm gonna try and keep myself on track here, because I have... Listen, some of you may know that I have opinions on certain games that may or may have not have won NEs. And we're just gonna kind of...
I'm looking through the list again. I knew nothing on this list before I read it the first time, like 3 days ago. I have now looked at a couple of the things.
Hell yeah. Ignore the 2 U's. I'm fixing something that I had earlier that I had to delete. This... Nope. God damn it. This is... I'm sorry this is so scuffed, everyone. It's been a day. Okay. I'm just gonna do this. Effect filters, color correction. Brightness low, opacity down. Okay. We're normal now. Alright, so, yeah, NEs. Obviously, you know, kind of a mix of community contributions and judging, which is interesting for awards. The NEs are kind of the big one, like in terms of teaching.
They are the big
for a lot
one,
of people.
And they're also normally dominated by like D&D and Pathfinder, and I think it's a lot less of that than I remember it usually being.
Yeah, it's cool to see some new stuff. So let me zoom in a little bit. So Best Adventure long form, Delta Green, and Call of Cthulhu. We're not going to go through all of this. I just wanted to highlight some stuff. Yeah. Best Adventure short form, Eat the Reich. People know. I was
gonna say, Eat the Reich is by Grant Howitt, who is an excellent author who I worked with once long ago. A very cool dude. And Rowan Rook and Deckard is also a company I trust. So, also the description of that is: you are a team of vampire commandos with one mission: drink all of Hitler's blood. Eat the Reich must be good.
I see this is the God.
I know nothing about it beyond
No,
that,
you're
but it must be good.
so valid. I have talked on the show about how I don't like that book, but also
Okay.
uh I do think that like artistically it's cool to see it here. Um I just like as a person who tries to make like deeply earnest messy work, right?
Sure.
I it has a lot of like safety stuff that I think is kind of unnecessary and like actively detrimental to the book. That's probably like
Okay.
the
Right there.
broadest.
I remember where I heard of this before. There was that big Twitter drama about whether safety rules were blah 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 blah. Who cares? That
Yeah,
I kind of glanced over and rolled my eyes and went, "All right, people are just doing as people do."
I I guess my thing is like as like a as a G lady, uh, uh, and like a person who thinks a lot about like writing about
Mm-hmm.
fascism and stuff like that is it's it comes from a very particular mindset about these things where
Yeah.
it's like clearly what Grant Howard and company wanted was a game that is like very much um in the Inglorious Bastards realm of like uh go in, fuck up a bunch of Nazis, and like you know
Yeah.
claim some
Just
victory
have a
from the
fun
jaws
time
of
beating up an enemy that is you can feel no guilt over.
yeah ontologically evil. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but then the problem I think for me with a lot of Eat the Reich when I read it was just there's a lot of it that is one I think deeply apologetic and worried about what people are going to do with it. Um, and like
Hmm.
very caught up in like you shouldn't do X, Y, and Z, or you should avoid this thing or that thing. Um,
Okay.
and while I see the use for that because it is a very sensitive like time and place to be in, um, I don't like that some of those things that it decided to be like you
Got
shouldn't
it.
touch on are like the Holocaust or like the history of the war or
So
uh
it's like they decided to pussyfoot around some things that they probably shouldn't have.
yeah they wanted to make a game about killing Nazis in World War II, but they didn't want it to feature uh
World
like
War Two.
World War II and like the worst horrors of it. Um,
Yeah.
it has a flash like so you play as like these like distinct characters, right? And it has
Okay.
like flashbacks like as a mechanic, but all the flashbacks are like none of them are like X or Y thing that happened to this character in their past that like informed the way that they think about other people or themselves or like their place in in a world that is being consumed potentially by fascism. They are just about like what is your relationship to the other people in your little platoon if with relation to other missions you've gone on, which is like
Huh.
good for a game that's not about killing Nazis in my opinion because I think for
Sure.
me
I
I
mean, I
really
feel like
want a
ways to relate to
personal
other characters are important.
I
I
I
wrote a
absolutely
couple
agree.
systems about that.
Yeah. I don't know. I
What I'm hearing is the game needed to have a scene of Magneto tearing down Auschwitz as a child.
yes, exactly. Yeah, you got it. You hit it.
One of
The
the
nail on the
best
head.
scenes from the old X-Men movies, honestly. Just a fantastic scene.
Yeah. Um,
Young little Magneto about to get beat up by Nazis just tears apart Auschwitz and walks
it's
out.
fucking awesome.
It ruled. It was so cool.
I will probably write a blog at some point about this so that the next time I have someone on the show and I'm like, I don't like Eat the Reich, I can just point to it.
Yeah.
But
Also, like, okay, even if you don't want to have flashbacks to the atrocities of World War II, you know what happened 10 years before that? World War One.
mm-hmm.
You could have atrocities about the trenches. There was some
Yeah.
bad shit there too
I
that I feel like an immortal vampire would have trauma from.
yeah. I will say I do like that I think the game it has a lot of mechanics that I think kind of a thing that I think Fellowship does really well, which this game does really well too, is the emphasis on like the players having narrative control in a lot of cases, which I
Hmm.
think does create
I
kind of
think
its
more games
own.
need to give players narrative control.
Yeah, I think it's the thing that produces its own sort of safety in some ways. Um,
Hmm.
because this was Lynn wrote a Rascal article about this. I'm basically
Yeah.
kind of paraphrasing what she said, but um, yeah, it's an interesting book. I think it's generally like I think you could have a really good time with it. Like I think it seems like a very fun
Yeah.
game. I just kind of
Like the
reading through.
extent of my safety rules for Fellowship is make sure everyone's on the same page before you start doing world creation together, so that way you're not creating a dissonant tone.
Yeah,
That's it.
real.
Because if everyone's on the same page and set us up the same tone, you're gonna have a good time, and it's gonna be
Yeah,
okay.
I I think safety is really important. I think some people misunderstand safety.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, to me safety should be a thing that is like encompassing and expansive rather than like exclusively uh like uh like decontaminatory, I guess, quarantining. Um,
To me, so the safety tool should be in the social contract of friendship,
yeah, real.
and is not not tied to any specific game. Like I've never really put them in my games much, really.
Yeah,
Um,
I I
Even Final
guess
Bid, the one where I feel like it's most likely to have people cross lines of my games I've written.
yeah. I For me it's like I think I write very different. I write for a very different audience than Rowan Rook and Descartes do. Um,
Probably
which I definitely identified. Like, Eat the Reich is written so it can be played at cons, right? Um,
that.
I
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I write games for girls who have tasted each other's blood. Like, it's a different thing. Um,
We are not the same.
we are not the same, and I think I just need to kind of accept that. Anyways,
I
I didn't
write
mean to get
games for girls who are autistic about fantasy adventure stories
love that. I mean, the cover art
or
for
kung fu.
it's pretty good cover art. Uh, the interior art's pretty good.
Yeah.
Dragon Bane, Alien
Um,
RPG,
the
Break.
other one that stood out to me from among all these things is Koriko: A Magical Year by Mousehole Press.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Koriko
have
seems
not
great.
read it. I know nothing. I know very little about it. I can't say I know nothing because I did read the blurb about it. But it looks cute.
Yeah,
It's a little journaling game about spending your summer vacation as a bunch of teenage witches.
it's
There's some stuff about exploring sexuality and stuff, and I love when
I love lesbians are awesome. Um,
lesbians are my favorite.
it's cool to see like big, robust journaling games. I
Uh-huh.
think that's a nice thing to have.
Yeah. It's a journaling game that clearly has a big budget. The art is gorgeous.
Yeah. Um, but yeah. Honestly, mainly, I just wanted to identify like a game that I don't really like won a bunch of Ennies. Everybody sobbed for me. Um, no, it's fine. I all the best to them, and I hope they're doing well.
Hmm.
I think it's a good game. I'm just a bit of a sourpuss sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and congrats to the rest of the winners. Hope you get $1,000,000,000,000,000 for your games. Thank you,
I hope
everybody.
so too. I wish all of you the best.
Oh, and
Except for one specific person who didn't win an any, so I don't have to name them.
yeah, fair. Um, also, Ennies. You need to not have all white judges for 2025. You need to be really careful. Because they currently do, and it's not good. Um, if you're with the if you're if you're an Any head, if you're with the Ennies, just check in, ask why that's happening. See if that can be changed, because it's not great. Um,
Not a good look.
yes, the Ennies was the white judges thing. Yeah. Uh, Thankfully, it's not related to waffles maple syrup. We're away from. We've escaped that vortex. We've escaped waffles maple syrup's eternal and grasping pole. So that's good. Um, Also, there's a collage of all the covers of the art nominees, and also some of the pages, which is neat. Taking a bit to load. Yeah, very cool. Next, we're gonna talk about. We gotta talk about branded games, and I'm sorry, everyone. I know you're sick. I know you're sick to shit of this. I am too. I don't want. I don't want to talk about these things anymore.
Anyway, that's why we're now announcing the Malifaux RPG, Through the Breach.
Malifaux?
Yeah, that's the correct answer.
What is Malifaux?
Minis game from like 15 years ago that I was really in love with and did not do well.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh. Oh, Lilith knows that one. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a neat setting that I love, and it did have its own RPG that I own. It's okay.
So,
The RPG's okay.
yeah, that makes sense. We have two announcements. Not announcements. We're gonna read two announcements that are gonna be very exciting.
Are very short.
Yeah, very exciting for people who drink tea. I feel like these are both tea drinker.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
Tea drinker announcements.
Yeah.
So
make sure to get your throat spiders checked.
Exactly. Night Vale, tabletop role playing game.
I honestly have no idea what the hell this role playing game is gonna involve.
Yeah.
It's the announcement is literally just this exists. We're making it.
Jeffrey and Joseph are making it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fallen London, the role playing game, 2025. Fallen London, isn't one of these being made by like a company, like a big Magpie?
Yeah, Magpie's a pretty big company.
What is Magpie in the Dark? Oh yeah. What did they do? Were they involved
Bluebeard's
in
Bride? Bunch of other shit.
Right. They did the role playing game, Urban Shadows, Passion, Masks. They've done some big ones.
They've done some big ones.
Avatar,
Urban Shadows, one of the original good PBTAs.
Yeah. I have to be nice about. I'm just real. Should I even say this on stream? I have to be nice about one of these games because I'm gonna be on a panel at Big Bad Con with one of the people who made it, and I will not tell you which one. It's one that I've been mean about on the show before.
The Avatar role-playing game is also okay. It's a decent PBTA.
I have no opinion on it.
I have
breathing
not
heavily.
read it, so I also have no strong opinion on it. This is just what I've heard secondhand.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Cool to see. I was kind of, as I looked at both of these, I was like, a lot of the what do they call it? So we talk a lot about branded games on the show because they're like the most reliable source of like this is TTRPG news, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the easiest ones to come across.
Yeah.
I want to talk. You mind if I talk about my experience with a branded RPG recently?
Yeah, absolutely.
I recently played the Fellowship. That's my game. The Fallout RPG.
Oh no, 2D20.
Yeah. It's mediocre.
It
does some really cool things, but 90% of the game is slavishly devoted to Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
To its detriment.
I do like Fallout 4.
Severely to its detriment.
I'm a Fallout 4 defender, I hate to say.
I like Fallout 4. The problem is that, like, okay, there's a list of weapons. It is just the list of weapons you can get from Fallout 4.
Ugh.
There's a list of weapon mods for each weapon type. It is just the list of weapon mods from Fallout 4. There's no creativity. There's nothing unique. There are things like +1 damage. The most boring things they could be. It's egregious. But on the other hand, they have some cool shit about, like, there's 2 leveling systems. There's XP, of course, but there's also quest-based level ups.
Oh, that's fun.
Every 2 side quests you level up, or every 1 main quest you level up. That's fun.
I like that.
That's smart. Like, that's a
Yeah.
cool system that the game has. It's actually, like, pretty fun and unique. Well, relatively unique. I'm sure there's games that have been doing that for, like, a decade, but, like, it is a really good adaptation of how Fallout does things.
Yeah, that's good. I like, as I was saying earlier, I think that there's a lot of value in like when you're making an adaptation of something,
Hmm.
doing, trying to like also mimic its structure and incentives and stuff. I think that's really wonderful.
Yeah.
Um,
It basically is a D% game, by the way, because it is it's just a roll under with your 2d20s,
right.
and your numbers on average are like a bad number will be like a 7, so you only have like a 30% chance of success.
Oh
But a
wait, hang
good
on.
number will be like a 15, so you have a 75% chance of success.
Just realized that was
Except since
supposed to
you're rolling
launch.
2d20, it's really more like a 90% ish chance. Because only one of them has to succeed. But
Yeah, sorry, I'm doing a really dumb bit um,
okay.
as we speak. Uh,
Uh,
but no,
but no, the campaign we were doing was pretty fun, except the system sucks.
yeah.
I made custom rules for one of the other players so they could play as an intelligent Deathclaw, because that's not in the books.
Oh,
I modified Super Mutant rules to let them play a Deathclaw, and they had a lot of fun.
hell yeah. Uh, I I would recommend people play Aaron King's After the Bomb, which I've played a little bit of recently. That's a good Fallout like RPG, or Little Thyla Leviathan C4
Yeah.
2180, which is available. Which is
My
not
post-apocalyptic game of choice is fuck. Why can't I remember the name?
a Fox, a good one.
Fuck
Sorry,
is a good one. No, that's not the name
that
of
would be
it.
a
Where's my
really good
library?
like name for a post-apocalyptic TTRPG, though.
Yeah.
Gotta admit.
Legacy: Life Among the Ruins.
Oh,
It is a PBTA that is generational.
oh, fun.
So, every player builds a society that survived the apocalypse. Like, you build a small culture. Then everyone plays as one person from that culture, and they all come together to have to solve a crisis. And based on how they solve the crisis determines what'll happen in the next generation, when we see how these societies have changed 20 years later. And then
Oh,
someone from the new post-apocalyptic generation has to, from each society, comes together to handle a crisis.
it's really cool. I
It's very neat. I've never gotten to play it, but I fucking love it conceptually, and the books are cool.
not to behold you exclusively to the things you've done in the past, but I do see why you would like that, considering like how
Yes.
Fellowship is as a thing. Um,
Yeah.
by the way, I've made
It is
my
definitely Fellowship adjacent.
I've made my monster. uh, as you can see, Destiny's engine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Fallen London. I assume that's something. I assume that Destiny is a thing in Fallen London as like a or an
I have no
organism.
idea anything about Fallen London either. It exists.
My Bun Bella really likes it. Uh,
Mm.
so I hope she draws me into a game and I can wear a top hat and have a laughing and clapping a good time. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Shall we take a 5 minute break and then answer the mail?
Sure, that sounds good.
Hell yeah. All right. We have my inbox is darlingdemoneclipse@gmail.com. Send me emails there. I will answer them. We will answer them, and see you all in a little bit.
Woo!
Hello, everybody. Welcome
And
back.
that's why Malifaux's a better setting than Fallen London.
That's so true. Thank you, Vel Mini, creator of game and knower of it.
I did not create Malifaux. That was made for some other people.
Well, yes, true. I'm. Anyways, Apocrypha, I summon thee. Bring
Anyway, now
unto
that
me
you know
my
all
mail.
this lore about Malifaux, tell me your favorite part.
Yeah, send a question about Malifaux, please. Thank you. We have emails. We might only
we
have
have
one.
emails.
Oh, wait, I think we have two actually, so that's wonderful. Or more. I don't even know. Oh, wait, no, we have a couple. Hell yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, let's sift through these. I think we'll save the. Yes, that is a classic goblin smattering of questions. We'll save the VIP questions for later. VIP question asker questions.
Okay.
First, from I don't have a. I'm just gonna say this is Duck. I think Duck just forgets to put a thing on these all the time. The subject of this message is "Don't stop the bop till the questions pop." Slippity yip yop zoo the Dovecote gloop. Okay, thank you.
I'm the Scat Man. Correct.
I'm the Scat Man.
Give it a pow.
Bapo be. Our first question is a simple one, a good one though. Best TTRPG that has an initiative system. Term.
Panic at the Dojo.
Panic at the Dojo. I like the tactics games that my various friends have made. I like Hell is Full. I like Euphoria 2180. I like Planet Fist.
If I'm gonna say one I didn't make, Lancer. Lancer's a pretty good one.
Oh, that's your newer email? Oh, you sent me two question asks? Shit, there's like a lot of ducks.
Oh man, we have many questions. Whatever will we do?
Oh, this is a pretty good one too. Yeah, we'll answer this one really quick. This is from Duck again. Or no, sorry, this is Duck's 5e playing alter ego Dork.
Oh, okay.
Wait, this was February. Wait, did I miss one? No, this is old. Hang on, I've messed up. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of these. Hang on, this is. It's not that one. It's this one.
Okay. While you're finding a question, I will say Panic at the Dojo is the best initiative system because it uses the conservation of ninjutsu rule, where the less guys are on your side, the more turns you get. To balance it out.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay. If you could instantly read magically, learn any language with perfect fluency and comprehension, but only related to TTRPGs, communicating with players/GMs, reading game books, what language would you learn?
Nihongo ga dekitai. I can already speak Japanese and read it a tiny bit, but if I could get perfect fluency and comprehension of all TTRPG terms, that would probably get me like 90% of the way to total fluency and comprehension of Japanese in general. So I would like that.
I was also going to say Japanese, actually, just because there is a lot of, like... I think there's
some good Japanese TTRPGs.
A lot of good Japanese TTRPGs, and I think there is a lot of interest in Japan in buying English games that are translated to Japanese.
Gosh, I would love to, like, do my own translations for Fellowship and Panic at the Dojo for a Japanese audience.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, you can call me a weeaboo all you want. I am good at Nihongo desu.
Japanese Sapphic World.
Yuri World.
Oh. Okay.
Yuri no Sekai.
What? Okay.
Sekai is world, Yuri is lesbian.
No, sorry, I'm not doing it at that. I'm doing it at Duck's questions.
Oh.
I'll
Are they bad? Duck, did you give us a bad one?
No, they're fine. They're just like a little indulgent. They're a little indulgent towards me, which I appreciate, but also Doc, we have guests. Get to put some clothes on.
Sapporo World is not a very good translation of Sapphic World because Sapporo is a brand of beer.
I say Sapporo
You would
World.
want Yuri Sekai.
That's fun. I like Yuri Sekai. That's good. Uh, Thoughts on when a book has a guy on the cover or back cover? Should it be expected that the guy appears in some way inside the book, or the players could become this guy? Or is it cringe when every character with art is also expected to have lore? Is it not enough to just have a cool guy on the cover? It depends on your game. I think it depends on your game.
My only game that has had guys on the cover has also had guys on the inside of the book that were on the cover, and that's Panic at the Dojo, where a man named Pompadour Rex is getting punched in the face on the front cover, and then Pompadour Rex is a boss fight in the book, so you can reenact that moment from the cover.
Well, there you go. It's pretty cool if that happens. I do think if there's a guy, it should either be representative of a literal guy who will be in the game, or a a type of. Here's, I'm gonna generalize. If your cover is representational, it should be representational of something that is going to happen in the game potentially, because that will make it sell to people. That's kind of the it's really a marketing answer more than anything. But artistically, your cover should be whatever you want it to be.
I mean, my fellowship just looked like artsy old books because I thought that would look cool for a game about artsy old adventures.
Good stuff. I like those covers. Game with a guy on the cover, but the guy is completely unrelated to the game. That'd be awesome.
I mean, that's let me just post my final bid cover real quick. Because that has a guy who has nothing to do with gosh dang anything.
It's allowed.
Yeah, here we go. I'm going to post this in Discord so you can share it with the chat.
Yes, I can do this.
Oh, that's not.
That's a dot. That's a .pdn.
That's the wrong file. Here's the one right next to it that is the correct file type.
Oh yeah. This is good. Here.
Yeah, that guy is representative of fucking nothing. Oh my god, I forgot this has my dead name. One moment.
Yeah, let me not put that on the stream.
let me get the fixed one.
Let me also delete that from my computer.
Yeah.
I do not want to look at that.
Whoops.
Oops.
I mean, I published under my dead name for like 5 or 6 years before switching, so what?
Fair.
It's out there. People know it.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah, just a little guy. But I think that on some this is
literally just
symbolic.
A guy.
It's good stuff.
It's just a guy.
Just a guy.
There is no explanation for this guy. They are completely featureless and have no impact on the game whatsoever. They're just a guy.
Next from Duck. One simple trick to add relief/catharsis to your grimdark dungeon delve. OSR folk hate them. What's your advice to balance the mood of a game where the vibe is starting to become oppressively melancholy? The hack the W Wizards of the Coast doesn't want you to know. If you're running something.
I'm a sucker for melancholy, so I would embrace it and make things worse.
Yeah, lean in is a good one. As long as people are having fun.
As long as people are invested, we're good.
Silly Goblins is good.
Silly Goblins is always the correct answer, though. I will never be sad about a silly goblin showing up.
A comic relief for a pet. Actually, that's a good, Pengu, I think, in is that his name? In Ava? Where it's there's just a penguin pet mascot in the middle of this.
This is very common in anime for a long time, to just have a little aminal friend that has nothing to do with gosh dang anything, but they're there since the beginning, the whole time.
I think having a little guy is good. I think that helps a lot. Is having a little creature.
Why is there a hamster on the main character of Gurren Lagann's shoulder the whole series? Who knows? But there is.
Yeah, but also, if a game is making you feel a certain way, I think it's good to interrogate, explore, and lean into that. That's just my opinion. That's the direction that I would go in. More from Duck. Uh,
Duck, the question knower.
oh, interesting. Okay. What's the what's that one? Uh, is it a Neil Campbell Comedy Bang Bang character? The answer seeker, where he just asks questions from movies. He's like, "Are you feeling lucky, punk?" Uh,
I have not seen this bit, but I can clearly visualize it in my brain space.
it's a good bit. Um, uh,
That's
achievements.
true. He is there, so the pig mole is there in TTGL, so they can be a girl during the dream sequence. That's true.
I don't know what that means, but I feel like that's probably true.
Uh, at the end of the movie remake of the series, there's a like a dream labyrinth hellscape that everyone gets trapped in for a while. And in Buddha's dream hellscape, they're a sexy anime girl getting with
Oh,
Simone.
God bless. It's beautiful. Glad that love is still alive. Um,
Mm-hmm.
achievements for campaign-style games that don't have any mechanical or narrative impact, just for funsies. Are they fame or lame? I I'd like to hear what you think first, if you have any thoughts on that.
So there's this excellent 10 stars out of 5 board game called Space Alert
Mm.
that has achievements in the back of the book. And they're really stupid and they're really fun. I really like that the achievements are there. They have no value except that you can mark them off with a little permanent marker or put a sticker on them or something if you actually do them. Um,
Hell yeah.
Space Alert is a game where 4 players have to prevent a spaceship from exploding for 15 real-time minutes. Uh,
Awesome.
and at the end of that real life timer, um, you basically play back the tapes and like the actions you do during that 15-minute timers aren't set until the end of the timer. You just place cards on face down on a board in front of you. Then after that
Oh,
timer, everyone flips them up to see what actions they did during the timer to see if you actually survived.
that's really fun.
So there's achievements for things like never use your shields or like fully charge the battery before halfway through the thing. Something that's completely pointless and probably doesn't benefit you, but you could do it.
Love that.
Space Alert is also an excellent game because it has the jiggle the mouse uh task, and that's the funniest thing in the world.
Just have to jiggle the mouse.
The ship has um a screensaver that you cannot shut off, and if it goes into a screensaver mode, the entire ship powers down, which is bad while you're flying through space.
I've played some Space Station 14 matches that were like this.
Yes, it is very Space Station 14 reminiscent, but
Yeah,
much faster. It's a phenomenal game.
that's awesome.
And it has achievements, and I like that game, and I like the achievements, so I'm pro achievements. I have
I
seen very little other games you do it though.
So here's my thing about achievements. I like them, but I think that there's more that could be done with them. I'm gonna signal specifically towards an idea that was, I think, initially, yeah, this was Lotus Virus's idea. So in Sapphic World, there's Hesed, the like mind control, mind projection realm, and and there is um there's a creature there called a brain leech, and a brain leech needs to get experience to become a person. It's a worm that latches onto the back of your head, and then
Yes.
like learns
Yeah, like Limbo.
things. Yeah. Uh, and the way that that works is you can either just do some like very normal tasks, like go to a commune it hasn't seen, or become friends or lovers with a new folk, or acquire a new relic. However, you can do it a lot faster if you complete one of a couple of achievements that are like specifically tied to that creature. Um
Mm.
and so like my thing with achievements is I think I find them more interesting if they have like a utility, um, or like not a utility even, but just like a purpose if they're part of the sandbox of the game that you're making. Um,
Yeah.
and I think there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with them. Um, I also similarly wrote a Sphinx for Sapphic World where it's like uh, you have to like complete some of its tasks, and a lot of them are like very complicated questions or like puzzles. And I like things that are like things that are written into a game that are things that you can achieve that will have like narrative, personal, and I think like broadly like kind of real consequences and implications. Um, I don't think those
Hmm.
are the only ones that should exist though. I just think it's fun.
Have you heard of the legacy style of board games?
Maybe
Like Risk Legacy, Pandemic Legacy.
I don't think that I have.
Okay. Well, oh,
Oh,
drop my mic on my pants.
oops.
So they like Risk Legacy is Risk. It's the classic board game war game, and I think it was really the starter of this trend that some other games later did. But in Risk Legacy, um, as you play, you can as you unlock various achievements, you change the rules of the game.
Hmm.
Like one of the achievements is one player, like a specific player, wins 2 different rounds. Once that happens, like nukes are unlocked, like nuclear weapons. And then there's another achievement that's like use 3 or more nuclear weapons in a single turn. And that unlocks the zombie faction, which is a
That's
new
really fun.
playable army.
Love that. Very, very cool. I like the idea of that.
Also, it makes whatever country was subjected to those 3 nukes is erased from the map. You just take it off the map.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. I really I like that idea a lot. I can imagine that
Uh
being
huh.
fun in like a tabletop game where it's like, our first campaign, this rule was not in play, and then the second one it is, because, we did this
Hmm.
thing in the first one. I like that a lot. Um,
I didn't know they made a Betrayal at House on the Hill legacy, but that makes sense. It's a good one. That sounds like a way better way to do Betrayal at House on the Hill compared to what the base game does. Um,
mhm.
I assume you're not familiar, Eclipse, but Betrayal at
I
House
think
on the Hill is like a horror game.
yeah, I've played it.
Yeah, where you play as like 4 or 5 survivors, but then like partway through the game, there's a twist and one of you turns into the killer, right? But it's at random from a list of like 80 killers or however many it is. I feel like making it a legacy game where like the killer changes over time as you do different things sounds way more logical. That
Yeah,
sounds more fun. You create a history in the house.
I like that idea a lot. Doc is saying, I don't think unlocks work very well for TTRPGs where campaigns can take a long time. I would almost say I kind of feel the opposite.
Oh, right.
Because I feel like Yazeba's. I mean, like, Yazeba's, I think, is the proof that this works, right? Which is like, I. At least from play that I've had of it, where it's like, you know, I have a Yazeba's game that's on One More Multiverse. If I wanted to, like, start that up for another group, I could. Because, like,
Mm-hmm.
it's got all like the character notes and stuff written down. Um, I really like the idea of like legacy TTRPGs, and obviously like West March is kind of the origin of that. Um, I don't know. I think there's a lot of space for like multi-campaign games and things that like develop over the course of you know uh, a decade, 20 years. Like I think there's a lot of people run games for a really long time already, and so I think and people will run like a 10-year game and then run another 10-year game.
Yep,
Um,
they do. That's a thing.
and so I think there's a lot of potential for unlocks to be a thing in TTRPGs that happens over the period of 2-3 campaigns, and
I
it's something I
have
want to
the
explore more.
idea in the back of my head for a long time that I almost did with Skulldiggers, but then Skulldiggers died, and burned me out from writing for multiple years. Anyway, where the idea would be that like you have to unlock certain things, like it's like a tech tree, and I would have like mini expansions, or it would be a small little thing that you get that's like 20 pages of extra rules and content that you only get if you do certain thing in your campaign to add them to your world.
Oh, that's so cool.
And also, it costs $5.
Yeah, it's good.
Get the monetization rolling.
Yeah.
Um,
Sapphic World is
yeah.
full of shit. Like, I mean, not like that, but it is like, it's a game that I've made, with the philosophy that like, I think things should take a couple of. If you want to play a campaign for a year, you should be able to, right? Like, there should be things that are
Mhm.
so robust and weird that like, after you get past like your first 10 sessions or 20 sessions of being like, hey, we're guys in a universe like following our own desires, you come together out of character at the table and are like, hey, so do y'all want to follow the god path? Do y'all want to go to the birth store? And I think
You want to go to the birthday store?
you want to go to the birthday store. I think it's good for games to do stuff like that. But yeah. uh Last one. Doc, you flatter me. You, you don't have to talk about my games in these questions, Doc. I appreciate it, but do you think two-player romance TTRPGs can ever be seen as a genre unto itself? Well, biotraffication. I don't think biotraffication is going to change anything. It's a little zine. Um, but in terms of the
So there's this
question,
game written by my friend Grant, not Grant Howitt, just Grant. That's his whole name.
Brant.
Uh, Called Last Stand that I published for him,
Hmm.
based on the Final Bids rules. That is or Last Shooting. That's it. Last Shooting. It is a two-player RPG where you play soldiers on opposite sides of a war, and you do mecha combat with each other. Basically, Gundam. One of you's Amuro, the other one's Char, and that's a two-player romance TTRPG in my heart.
They've been around. That sounds awesome, though. That sounds sick.
It is good.
Yeah. I think it's
It's also
a
like $5.
I think it's an underexplored thing. I think there's a lot of potential for like, hey, do you want to play a game with your partner? Uh, that will be a little spicy, or perhaps a little sad, or perhaps a little,
Mm-hmm.
ooey gooey. Uh, I think that's a cool. I think it's a cool pitch, but also I think it's a marketing categorization on some level because I think there are already a lot of really great, as you said, like really great two-player TTRPGs that can have romantic under or overtones. Um,
Yeah. I just opened a file from Last Shooting. I forgot I made the character sheet for that game.
oh hell yeah, there's still so many. Okay, let's go through Lilith and Audiovore's stuff. So this is for you, Val. This is from Audiovore. Uh, Not really a question, but I want to thank you for your work on Fellowship, as playing it helped me reinvigorate my love of fantasy and GMing after being burned out on D&D type sludge.
D&D Sludge is a very good name for that whole genre of muck.
Yeah. I actually
Uh,
played in Duck's Fellowship game. Let me pull up my creature from that. Actually, I played the Beast. Uh,
Hell yeah. I love the Beast.
and her name was Corey, aka the choreographer, and she was part of like a undersea people who uh worked giant like power line, like fleshy
Mhm.
bioorganic power lines that ran across the world. um Sorry, not Duck's Fellowship game. Did I say Ducks? I meant Audiovores. Sorry, my brain is a little jumbled. um here's Corey early on, and then eventually Corey got a biosuit because I went for the marine, uh, the biomarine biosoldier, and this was her with her cool Bio-Soldier armor.
Nice.
Yeah, she's a cool one. We love Corey. Do you want to play a game with your
Speaking of
partner?
the beast, how do you like the fucked up little rat thing?
I love the fucked up little rat thing for the beast. That's
Like,
a good
I don't
creature.
even have to describe it beyond that. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
talking
know what
about.
you mean.
You've seen the rat baby.
It's a good beasture. Uh,
The
or
fucked up little rat guy.
yeah,
Huh?
good brusher.
Stop. Charlotte is sitting on my keyboard and won't let me post the little rat guy.
Damn.
Oh,
I've played enough.
there we go. Rat baby. I love this stupid little ugly guy. Everyone loves rat baby.
I've played enough Fellowship that I probably just have this on my computer as a PNG. Hang on. Here we go.
Well,
Yeah,
if
there
you
we go.
didn't before, you do now.
There we are. The beast and the rat. Oh wait, no, you mean that rat baby. Sorry, hang on.
I want the rat baby.
I can get that rat baby.
Oh yeah, no, that's the pack leader,
Here's the rat
the
baby
hound
in black and
master,
white, but
the
also get
werewolf with his
the
dog.
yeah.
No,
But
no, no. There's the rat baby.
yeah, we're gonna get the colorful rat baby too. Hmm.
God, what a
There we
fucked up
go.
little creature.
The
When this
preacher.
artist sent this, I was thrilled.
It's really good. It's a really good beast.
What an insane little creature.
That's true. Corey did once rip a sun cannon off of a skyship and use it while parachuting down to the surface.
Hell yeah.
It was really good. um okay. Yeah, thank you for that one, Audiovore. Next from Lilith.
Uh-huh.
Malifaux. What is your favorite faction?
Ooh. All right. Probably the Neverborn. Creatures of nightmare that are native to the plane of Malifaux. Um, so what Malifaux is an alternate dimension on the other side of, on like the upside down of London.
Oh.
That 1920 science broke through, and instead of World War II, we opened a portal to a parallel dimension.
Huh.
Uh, and in that parallel dimension, they find the city of Malifaux, which is a massive abandoned city that has nothing in it. So people start moving in, and then they find the natives.
Ah.
The Neverborn are a faction of, well, they're monsters, they're nightmares, they're demons, they're creepy things. Um, the initial three Neverborn masters are based on the Maiden, the Witch, and the Crone.
Oh, that's fun.
So there's like a young, powerful one that is bold and brash and foolish. There's an old swamp hag that's very, very the long-term planner type. There is a mothery one that creates life as she goes, like everywhere she walks. She just conjures living plants.
Uh, these Neverborn look really cool. This is a good
They're
blend.
sick. Neverborn also have some factions, or like, so basically, as Malifaux went on, there started to be multi-faction leaders, and like ones that would be like between two groups. So one of the Neverborn leaders is the Dreamer, who is a little kid who came through the portal and like just was very, I don't know, just had like demon dreams.
Huh.
And in the magical world of Malifaux, their demon dreams became real. So now they control demons while they're asleep.
I love to cast my demon spells.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And when they wake up, their demons all disappear, which is represented by them teleporting like off map, and then you can redeploy them by putting your dreamer back to sleep.
hell yeah. Well,
It was a really cool minis game.
it looks really cool. The art looks great.
Oh, right. While the Neverborn are my favorite faction, my favorite master, the one that I actually mained, is Colette.
Colette.
Colette de Bois.
Is it Dubois?
De Bois. Colette de
Oh,
Bois
I like her.
Malifaux. She
I
is an
have her.
arcanist. And basically by day she's just a performer. Like she puts on burlesque shows. but she also is the head of a smuggling ring that basically, like she does magician acts and stuff, and she has, where's that? The Coryphy duet. Look up Coryphy duet. Let me pull this up on images. The coolest, sickest thing.
I was just having her slide across the screen. Sorry.
Yeah.
Having too much fun with
Well,
my
that's
toys.
kind of how she plays. She's very, very fast. She's a smuggler who basically gets around guild law, does cool shit. The showgirls are great. And she has mechanical dolls that she controls with her magic. The strongest of which is the Coryphy duets, which dance together.
She's eating your hat. Her bird's eating your hat.
Smuggle my hat.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, let me show the thing that.
Also, like one of the core things that her mechanics involve is like that little mechanical dove that she has. Is an actual minion that can fly around very fast, and she can swap places with it at any time.
That's sick. I have a personal interest in the Coryphy duet for reasons that I can't talk about on Twitch.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I strongly understand.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous.
They're really gorgeous. I wonder what they would look like disassembled. Anyways,
anyway, well, I mean, I can't show you disassembled, but I can show you an assembled and painted, and this artist chose trans girl colors, which is great.
Hell yeah. This is awesome.
Also, they have swords for hands because, yeah.
I understand now. Thank you.
Malifaux's so cool.
Thank you, Val.
Malifaux is so cool.
It's kind of awesome. I hadn't really thought about this. So Lilith has been talking about doing a Warframe-esque war game. And, like, I hadn't thought about the fact that, like, it's kind of well built for it, just on the, like, a structural level, because, like, they keep doing new... Like, you have, like, the Deimos infested, you have the normal infested, you have the Grey Strain, you have the Mutualists, you have... Who else do you have? You have, like, you know, normal corpus, amalgamant corpus, parvos corpus. I feel like there's a lot of potential for, like, different little sets for something like that. Now that I'm just, like, hearing about this war game. But yeah. Malifaux seems cool.
Yeah. Here's her other robots, the mannequins. They're the weaker version of the Coryphy. The Coryphy is like a pair of specific ones that she keeps in top condition.
Okay.
Whereas these two are just some generic regular ones.
That's really some...
But, you know, within your interests.
Yeah. There's a Sapphic World NPC who's almost exactly like this. If anyone's read The Collector, literally has, like, a bunch of dolls and then, like, one that she keeps in, like, perfect condition. Which is really funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a Sapphic World war game. That would be way too much work.
Lesbians must kiss.
Lesbians must kiss instead of kill. Okay. Next from VIP Question Asker. Probably only get through a couple of these. aka Skibbity Bop and Dada, aka Goblins, who always sends like 5 to 10 questions. It's crazy. First question. I feel like I've answered this question a couple times on the show, but I feel like it's a good one to answer multiple times. How do you plan your works? How do you keep yourself from continually adding onto your project? And do you find deadlines to be worth the stress? Herm.
Plan?
Plan?
I say that like I don't have literally a spreadsheet. Not really a spreadsheet, but like I literally outlined all the things I want to be doing for the next like 2 years in tabletop writing.
Damn.
How do I keep myself from continually adding onto your project? I don't. I keep adding. It's a problem.
Yeah, same.
Although eventually I basically just kind of sit down and be like, okay, cut off. It's good enough. Sending it to the printers. You just have to cut yourself off at some point. You can't go forever. And deadlines are not worth the stress. The better way to keep working on your project is to just focus on little bits at a time. Set small goals, and it gets
Yeah.
done when it gets done.
Give yourself peace and quiet and calm.
Yeah.
And let yourself, when it's done, it's done. The only time for deadlines is after you've done like, and even this, like, your backers should fuck off, but like when you've done a Kickstarter, right? There's a little bit more pressure, but even then, I think you should be respectful to yourself.
There's a lot more pressure.
Yeah, people will be asking for updates and being annoying.
The time when it's good to set deadlines is when you're 95% done, to push yourself to do that last 5%.
Absolutely.
When I have almost finished, like the next public post draft for Panic at the Dojo, I write a date on the first page. Like, this is the August 11th edition for the one I put out yesterday. I wrote that on the 9th. On the 9th, I wrote, this is the August 11th update. So, all right, I got 2 days to finish the rest of this, and I did it.
That's really smart. That's good.
I was most of the way there. There wasn't a lot left to do when I got there, but I mean, that's the trick.
Yeah. I think you might have some thoughts on this. I think Panic has some elements of this. When making a setting-specific game, which part do you start with, the rules or the setting? Which starting point would you find more difficult?
I have never made a setting-specific game.
Fair. For me, I start with the rules. Well, I start with the concept. I think rules implies that it's about mechanics, like, or that it's about like, a set of distinct things that are necessary for the thing. I start with like, what is the mechanical concept for this game, and then I go, okay, I have the like mechanical concept. What is the like, well, honestly, really what happens is I write a system, I write like some simple mechanics, and then I'm like, okay, what do you do in this game? And I'm like, do I want to make a game where you're going to like generate a world, or do I want to generate a world myself? And usually the answer is the latter, because I like doing that. So
I prefer handing the reins to others and letting them play.
I respect that a lot.
Hence, Fellowship.
Yeah.
Pretty much all my games I start with the rules. Always the rules. I don't believe in Core Zero. I think games should be played as they are in the book, and if they don't function well as they are in the book, then that's a problem with the rules and the writing.
Yeah, agreed.
That is a game designer issue.
Deeply agreed.
So, I want a game to function solidly from the bottom up. So the first thing I need when writing a game is I need to find a core mechanic that is interesting and engaging, and build everything around it. And Fellowship, basically, that was command lore. How do I make a PBTA game where everyone makes the world, and then the GM gets to play Godzilla kicking over their sandbox?
Yeah.
Which also makes the players very invested in beating the crap out of Godzilla.
You gotta kill the Overlord.
Engine.
It has to be done.
If you make the world, you care about it when it starts breaking.
Yeah. When they're
Panic
big.
at the Dojo was entirely built around the action dice. The dice you roll at the start of your turn, spend them to do things. It started from the core concept of, I hate it when I miss and have to wait 10 minutes for my next turn when I did nothing.
Good.
Which was D&D.
Yeah.
That's D&D, folks.
That's D&D, folks.
So I made a system where you don't miss. You just do the action. Rolling good just means you do the action better.
Yeah.
So, like, the core system was actually going to be a dungeon crawler.
Oh, interesting.
But then when I played it, it did not feel like a dungeon crawler. It felt like it felt like a kung fu movie. It felt like a
Yeah.
fighting game. So that's why it became what it did. That's why I went with the setting I did,
Neat.
which is fantastic because now it is known as the fighting game RPG, and people are all over it for how much it emulates Ryu kicking people in the face.
People like to be Ryu and kick and do a kick attack.
People like to do a Shoryuken or two.
Yeah.
They
Um,
like when the Hadoken.
when the Hadoken go Doken. uh, next,
Hadoken to the poles.
scary, really possible. Could happen in the future. Um, how do you take inspiration from an existing piece of art, make a game out of it, and make it more than just the blank TTRPG? Blank being, whatever the thing is. Huh. That's a fun one.
That is a. I mean, whenever I've taken inspiration from an existing piece of art and attempted to make a game out of it, um, I don't make it more than just the blank TTRPG because it doesn't get finished.
Right.
I have a JoJo's tabletop RPG that is about 3 pages in a notepad document.
Yeah. I'm gonna be vague about this because I think people have opinions on this, and I think people could get upset with me if I don't have the common consensus opinion on this. There was a game a couple of years ago that was very similar, was pretty explicitly saying like this is the blank TTRPG, and had art that was basically like the art was made by a fan artist of the community of that video. It was a video game. Was made by a fan artist of the community of that video game. Looked exactly like characters from that video game. Exactly same concept, same execution. If a character had this thing on their arms, the character in the TTRPG also had this thing on their arms to a degree that was like pretty direct. Same color schemes.
Yeah.
And on the one hand, the person did not release this TTRPG because they got harassed by the people who really like this video game, which should not have happened.
That sucks.
And they were really, really nervous about the legal side of it because people were like constantly tattletaling. And I don't think they should have felt worried about the legal side of it. I don't think that people should have harassed them. As an artist, like that's the ethical and legal side of it. I think they should have been safe and fine, and they should have not felt threatened by the people who liked this game.
I mean, my opinion on copyright law is if I want to write Mickey Mouse smoking a joint into my Panic at the Dojo game, I should.
Yes, I agree.
I should be allowed to do that.
However, on an artistic level, I kind of think that the TTRPG that this person was making, in my opinion, was kind of the worst of like TTRPGs just trying to do pastiche and not having ideas to back them up on a visual level, on a design level, on a writing level, and so what I'll say is one, like, trying to connect this back to the question, and my brain just completely shorted out. My point being, like, I think that there's a lot of value in trying to add your own spin to things, both in terms of keeping yourself safe from really rabid fandoms, and also in terms of like creating art that is compelling, at least to my estimation. And so I would just recommend, like, what are the things that you like about this thing? Kind of compartmentalizing those and then thinking up the thing from there. And not trying to just be like, what things do I want to literally put in this? Instead going, what things do I want to draw from and then make my own things. Because I just think it's a, you know, I don't know. I find it to be more compelling and fun creatively. I understand people who just want to make something quick so they can make money, but also like I don't know. That's just my take. Uh, Smiles.
Smile.
I don't think we're gonna get through all of these because we're running out of time here. I'm actually just gonna save these.
Okay.
All right. Well,
You want to do one more for the road?
yeah, sure. Let me because Goblin did send us some really good ones.
Yeah, pick a good one.
Let me see if these are which of these is the best. Oh, this is a great one. This is a really good one for you, I think. What is your favorite flavor of fantasy for TTRPGs? Is there anything you think is underrated? What do you think hasn't been explored enough?
I really love the Final Fantasy flavor where they're not afraid to just have big ass machines in there with their magic spellcasting.
Yes. Oh my god, so true.
I think it is unexplored outside of the Final Fantasy genre. More fantasy games just need to have a fuck off giant steam train.
Mm-hmm.
More just need to have you fight a mech.
Yes. Agreed. Really deeply agreed.
Like, if I can't have this old man super wizard from the past that I summoned with my power of my mind shoot lightning bolts at a giant robot, it's not a good enough fantasy setting.
Some bad stuff's gonna happen if I don't get that. Uh, yeah,
That's why there's multiple high tech options in Fellowship.
yes, as there should be. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. Um, like literally.
Skies of Arcadia.
Oh,
You ever play Skies of Arcadia?
I have not. No.
It is the best JRPG of all time. It came out on the Dreamcast, which is why it flopped. It didn't go anywhere. But
Right.
did get re-released on the GameCube, which is the better version of the game and the one you should get. It got some updates. Um, but it's an extremely good JRPG where you play as sky pirates. Also, you have magic. You do pirate stuff. There's an evil empire with technology that's fighting against the old world, blah, blah, blah. It's great. It's good.
Sounds
It's
sick.
really freaking good.
Inserting P-Jack into all the RPGs. So true. We should have more P-Jack type characters. But yeah, like God, like one of the moons and like one of Sapphic World's moons is just a space station that like has a giant cloud of firefights constantly happening around it because there's a field called the Snuff Field that makes it impossible to die there.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, it's good. It's scary. It's kind
I
of
hate
hot.
that name.
Yeah, it's really good. Um, uh, yeah, I like, God, I I think almost everything that I write is kind of in that zone. It's my first instinct. It's just like, hey, what if there was a spaceship here, or what if there was a mech here, or what if there was a guy with a giant gun? Um, it's so much fun.
Oh,
Um,
also, it's basically canon in Skies of Arcadia that the three main characters end up as a polycule.
yes,
You know,
good.
like from a game from 2001, it's sick as fuck.
Hell yeah.
Like your main dude kisses both of the girls that he's with. Both of them are okay with it, and this is mandatory cutscenes. Like you can't skip either. It's not an optional thing.
That sounds pretty poly to me. I don't
Uh-huh.
know.
Also, there's a lot of them being like, I'll follow you to the ends of the earth. I would risk my life to save you, sort of oaths given to each other,
Hmm.
apropos of almost nothing.
I hope the main character realizes some things about her gender in the future. And,
I have a thing to link you after this.
oh, good. Um,
Um, da-da-da.
Historically
Some
good
good fan
friends.
art.
Let's say. Oh, that's cute. I'm seeing.
Uh-huh. Oh, there is also canon art of the main character wearing a girl's sailor suit.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
That's just how you talk with your bros.
Like this is a thumbnail from a YouTuber, but they went out of their way to color the official art, so
Oh, that's
I
fun.
copied it anyway. Um,
I hate what the name of this file is. Oh no, sorry, I
listen,
misread it. It's fine.
it's fine.
I
Oh,
I read something that wasn't there.
so his name in the game is Vice. So there's a YouTuber I watched who headcaned that her trans name is Versa.
That's awesome. Look at this. Look at this trans girl.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be so careful.
Like
I
that's
almost.
actual real art in a concept art for Skies of Arcadia of Vice just wearing a schoolgirl outfit.
It's pretty
They just
awesome.
colored it.
Yeah.
That's all
God.
they did to it.
Goddamn.
Real art.
Sus. Sus in a good way.
Sus in an extremely good way.
But yeah. Thank you so much for being on, Val. Is there anything else you want to direct folks towards besides Panic at the Dojo and Fellowship and all that stuff?
Well, while we're on the topic, I saw a Kickstarter earlier today for a book called Transphoria, which
Oh.
is a series of comics about being transgender written by transgender people. They already have 300% of their goal, so it's not like you need to go out of your way, but I backed it because it looked nice. I thought it would be fun to have a book full of transgender comics on my shelf.
You can get it.
I don't even have to look for it. You already found it.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Yeah, still got like 2 weeks left, so plenty of time. It's also fully funded, so you don't have to.
Awesome.
I thought it looked cool. I saw it on Tumblr today and was like, well, I would like to have that actually.
Why, I rather would like to have something like that. Hell yeah.
I love when the queers.
I love when the queers. Thank you for being on the show. Thank y'all for watching. I'm actually gonna be back on Thursday with another Dovecote with Kayla Dice, aka Ratwave from Psycho Dungeon. There was some weird scheduling stuff, and also we haven't had. I missed 1 week, so we're gonna have two in a week. That's how it works, folks. Them's the rules.
That math checks out to me.
Yeah. We're gonna raid Sophie Baby, who's playing Rust. Go say hi. Go have fun.
Hell yeah, I love Sophie.
Sophie's awesome. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Remember, if you don't like what you see, you can change it. It's up to you, really. Goodbye, good luck, and have fun